What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to TRU Raider Podcast, and we are here officially for the Tank Bowl. This is the Raiders versus the Giants, the battle for the number one overall pick. We already got one of our model Raiders in the building. What's good, gun smoke? Everybody's falling in. Let's go ahead and see what's up. I want to talk about real quick because the game is going to start any minute, you guys. I'm running late today. It is what it is, man. I'm doing what I can. But we got a couple of things to talk about real quick about our inactive list. Let me pull that up real fast. Actually, you know what? Before anything, man, let me put the game channel up, man, just to make sure I'm already ready to go when this whole thing kicks off, man. So there's several games that are underway as well, which is very interesting. Let me see. Let me get the screen out of my way. I'm in the building. Salute. So let me go ahead and share a screen on the first thing, man, and we are going to talk about the inactive list. So the Raiders inactive list, week 17 for the Tank Bowl against the Giants. We have quarterback Aiden O'Connell, emergency third quarterback, wide receiver Philip Dorsett, and this is the main one, wide receiver Jack Besh is on the inactive list, guys. So Jack Besh has been added to the Tank roster, which is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Pull this other thing up, man. I want to keep track of like what's going on with the scores on the other games because I did see a couple that were very interesting. New England is blowing out the Jets, not a surprise there. But the Browns are looking like they're about to get the win over there in Pittsburgh, and that's very relevant to us, you guys. That is very relevant to us. I'll get into that. So we also have safety Terrell Edmonds, running back Raheem Mostert, running back Collier, and defensive tackle Broderick Martin on the list. The Giants have cornerback Cordell Flott, wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, tight end Theo Johnson, running back Dante Miller, outside linebacker Caleb Murphy, defensive lineman Joaquin Nunez Roches, and then quarterback Russell Wilson is their emergency third back. So this is very interesting that we have Jack Besh out. I'll go ahead and pull up our injury report real quick. Max Crosby, he's been put on IR. We have Colton Miller has been listed as out. And then we have, of course, Brock Bowers was put on the IR, as well as Jeremy Chin. So we are just in full-on tank mode, you guys. But the Giants are doing the same thing. The Giants are doing the exact same thing. We got 7 listed as out. We have 3 as questionable. Like, this is legit going to be the tank. This is getting wild. So something I want to bring up is about this Browns game. Browns against Cleveland. And this is relevant because they won. It's the final. Browns moved to 4-12. Browns moved to 4-12. That was rowdy. All right, so Tankathon. And the game should be kicking off right now, actually. Let's see. Yeah, they're just talking about Max Crosby right now. So now the order has moved. The draft order has moved. Cleveland fell from number 3 down to number 6 with a win in Pittsburgh, which means that they are no longer really a threat to us unless we win both games. So we're going to be kicking off to the Giants now. So right now, the order is Giants are first pick, Raiders are the second pick. Actually, I should be sure on this one. Okay, Giants return it to about the 20. Okay, so in the draft order, we have Giants are number 1, Raiders are number 2, Jets are number 3, Arizona is number 4. What happened with the Titans, man? Did they win that? I saw that they were ahead earlier. New Orleans has made a huge comeback, but that game is still. All right, let me focus on the game real quick. First and 10 on the 22. That was a weird place to mark it. Whatever. Jackson Dart completed to Robinson. Looked like a gain of about 5. So really, if we lose today, we actually do not move back at all. We actually do not move back if we lose today because the Jets have a stronger strength of schedule than us. So we will be matched up with them. So we would remain at pick number 2. This is very interesting. That's shifting. That's changing. What's up, Jeffrey? Shador Sanders sucks, man. 2 touchdown passes and 7 in the past 3 games. I mean, there's a reason that he went in the 5th round. You guys went and beat the Steelers, who are fighting for their division right now. So actually, I didn't keep up on that. It looks like the Giants did get a first down, and then they just ran the ball for 4 yards. 2nd and 6 on the 40. Completed to Robinson. Looked like a pickup of about 3 yards. Jets don't need a QB. Cali, yeah, the Jets need a QB. They do not. They're not going to run it forward with Justin Fields. Their leading receiver hasn't caught in the pass. Well, maybe he did today, but I think that he hadn't caught in the pass since like week 6 or some shit. And he's still their leading receiver. 3rd and 3. So we got Tyree Wilson is in Max's spot. Oh, we got a flag. False start. Jeffrey said Browns won because of the defense. Shador Sanders, after that first down pass, went downhill. I didn't get to watch the game, man. I was over at my mom's house. I need to shut this bro, man. I'm on the wrong screens, bro. Wrong screens. 3rd and 8. Dart completed for the first down to Robinson. Tiptoes on the sideline, goes out of bounds. He'll pick up about 9 or 10 yards. 17. Okay. Oh, definitely. It's because they got that penalty, and so they moved back to 38. I forgot. Play action. Took the camera. Oh, Jackson Dart slips. Tonka Hemingway gets the sack. Yep, the tank ball has officially started, y'all. Second and 24. That's going to be a rough one for them to come back from. But remember, they are playing against the Raiders. It looks like Lonnie Johnson Jr. took the place of Jeremy Chin. Completed up the middle. The ball is knocked out. Okay. Rolled is incomplete. That's what it looked like to me, man. He caught the ball and then got hit immediately, and the ball bounced out. Jeffrey says he sees the Browns trading up. They have draft capital. And that is exactly the reason why he lose this game. Because if the Giants pick number 1, they're going to trade back. And if we stay at number 2, because now it's starting to look like we could, actually, because things have been changing. Oh, another flag. Jermaine Illuminor. False start. I remember getting all those down penalties from Illuminor. What was he thinking? Third and 29. Screen pass. They're just trying to get a couple more yards for the punt, I guess. So you guys got to remember that even though the Raiders want to tank, Raiders fans want the Raiders to tank. The Raiders players, even if their front office is trying to tank by pulling out Bowers, by pulling out Jack Bash, by pulling out, making sure Colton Miller doesn't go back in, they pulled out Max Crosby, pulled out Jeremy Chin. The thing is that these players, I think we have like, I want to say it's like 21 free agents. So out of all these guys, they're all playing for their next contract. They're hoping to either get re-signed by the Raiders. Veronica with Hartney too. They're either trying to get re-signed or they're trying to get in a position where they can get signed by the team. So the players that are out there, especially these guys that since we have all these moves on the roster, on the inactives, on IR, these guys are going out there and what they're wanting to do is prove that they belong on a roster, that they belong in the NFL. You're going to have guys out here really, really trying. So as much as the fan base, the majority of us want that, right? Almost do not know what you're talking about. Team Money with the follow salute. Um, yeah, as much as we may want those kind of things, and the front office is making moves, hoping to get those kind of things, I really doubt, man. I really doubt that we're going to be in a position where the players are just fully bought into a tank. Both teams, essentially, they want to lose, man. Jeffrey said the Browns are rumored to get Tua. You guys can go for that. We do not. Is Tua a pretty good quarterback? Yeah. Does Tua have a lot of problems? Oh, yeah. Tua has a ton of problems. Memory Lane said Giants really trying to lose. Giants on their first drive have shown that they are not out here really trying to win this game. All right, here we go. Geno Smith. First and 10, handoff to Genti, gets blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like a loss of 2 yards. That's crazy. Second and 12. Gino launches it on the sideline, caught by Dante Thornton Jr., but they're saying incomplete out of bounds. Dante Thornton actually caught a contested catch for once. Alex believes it's going to be a close game today. DB made a good push on him, got that second foot out of bounds. Third and 12. Gino, do what you do best. Go 3 and out. Completed to Michael Mayer, who gets stopped just short of a first down. So it's going to be 4th and 1. He almost got himself across by rolling on the defender, but Cam 9 with follows through. Liam says, I hope we lose. Yeah, I hope that we lose. Pete Carroll is challenging the spot on that play. I don't know, man. Jeffrey said Tua would fit well in Kevin's offense, though, because his offense is all about rhythm and timing. That's Tua's best attribute. Well, and I could see Tua going somewhere else and doing better. The hard part about Tua is he's got such a huge contract. I mean, huge with follow salute. He's got such a big contract, and then you'd have to pay draft capital to get him. For a guy that if he takes one good hit to the head, his career is probably over. You know, so I mean that's a dangerous, dangerous move for any team to pick up that contract, even for the Browns. And you guys have already messed up with that one. John said, "Hope Genty looks good, but just tank baby." I have Genty for the over for combined receiving and rushing yards, but yeah, just tank for sure. Rank these quarterbacks 1 through 4: Mahomes, Knicks, Herbert, and Gino. Um, Probably in that order, honestly. Gino sucks, for one. Herbert's a good quarterback, but he just can't seem to get the timing. He gets good stats and he plays good, but he doesn't do it at the proper times. Bo Nix is a guy that he goes out there and regardless of how well he plays and how his stats aren't super, super great, he's winning games at the right time. He's putting it together when the time is right. He's got that dog in him. And then Mahomes is Mahomes. I mean, I'd be surprised if this is a full fall off by the Chiefs. Honestly, they're probably going to bounce back next year, play super good, which sucks because I don't want that to happen. But John Leon, salute. Yeah, Jeffrey Tyler Stowe on the Saints has been playing some good football. I'm surprised by that as well. It's been an interesting thing. But the device is trying to get that approval. All right, call stands. 4th and 1, and we're going to punt the ball. Dan said, so glad Gino doesn't play for the Hawks anymore. Yeah. I mean, we definitely got hit with that trade. We lost that trade for sure. You think they're going to tank? I believe that because of the roster moves, both sides are trying to tank. Veronica, your thoughts on draft? I've moved on from this season. My thoughts on the draft is I want us to pick number 1 overall, so I want us to lose this game and the next game. And I want us to pick up Fernando Mendoza, get your quarterback, especially if you're drafting number 1 overall. That doesn't happen very often. Get the quarterback, 2nd round, pick up an offensive lineman, also do something about the offensive line of free. Peak, you asking the wrong questions in the wrong chat. Artie Johnson Jr. with the tackle on that one. The Giants are moving to third down. 3rd and 5. Incomplete. Giants are going to 4th down. They are really trying to do a 0-0 game. So now Giants are going to punt the ball. That's going to be the whole day, guys. Punt, 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 punt. Bert said tanking is losing on purpose. We can't even win if we try. The thing is that today and next week we could lose. I mean, yeah, we could win if we tried. Did you see how we played against the Texans? If we played the Giants and the Chiefs like that, we're going to win. That's why they had to put a bunch of people on IR. That's the front office telling Raider Nation, we hear you guys. Let's see something real quick. I wonder if the sound will come through properly. I know you guys on TikTok can't see this, man, but maybe you'll hear the sound. And it's that video about the South Park Little League, the Tank Bowl with the Raiders and the Giants, man.
Oh, look, we're gonna be the losers tonight, all right? I don't think so. There's no way you can lose to us. We're going down. We're gonna get creamed. No, we're gonna get creamed. We'll just see about that. Oh, yeah? Yeah.
I hope that came through properly for you guys, bro. But that shit is way too funny, dude. Way too funny, way too true. Bert, why play Gino? What's the purpose? They're showing something very, very clearly, right? We put Brock Bowers on IR. We're not playing Colton Miller. He's ready to go, but we're not playing him. We put Max Crosby on IR. We put Jeremy Chin on IR. We put Jack Besh on the inactives. We're making all these moves from our starters except for Geno. And that tells you everything you need to know. Geno Smith will not be here next year. Geno Smith is doing what he's getting paid the big bucks to do, and that's throw interceptions and lose games. Yo, Jeffrey, I wouldn't even go the Spencer Rattler route, man. I would not do that. Lewis said, embrace the tank. That is exactly it. We are there. Savante, are the Raiders raidering? The Raiders are raidering, but the Giants are gianting. So we're, that's a problem on both sides. Both sides are trying to tank. Tyler Sell and Spencer Rattler have the same numbers. I don't know, man. I personally wouldn't want to go after either of those quarterbacks. Tyler Sell might prove us all wrong, but woo! Yeah, Jackson Dart is definitely a good quarterback selecting. Completed to Michael Mayer, first down and some. Looked like a pickup of about 16 yards. Wow. The thing is, man, is that Michael Mayer is a good player. We just not have not utilized him properly at all. Hand out to Genty looks like a pickup of about 1 yard. Legendary says Fernando Mendoza is the future. I believe that it'll be legit. Dude, Spytech drafting Ty Simpson at pick number 1. So you guys got to remember, the thing about John Spytech is that every GM in their first draft, what they do is they draft with last year's team. And so he wasn't able to assemble his full draft team until after the draft this year, which means that this next coming draft will be the one that truly shows what we're going to get out of a Spytech draft. Pass was completed to Trey Tucker going in the third down. Looked like a pickup of only a couple of yards. Yes, Gunsmoke. Purpose is to get the number 1 spot. It's 3rd and 3. Geno Smith to Ashton Genty completed for like a yard and a half. Going in the 4th down. Offense is staying on the field. Why? Yeah, so we're having a South Park episode when they are trying to think on purpose on a professional level. I was actually just playing that video on YouTube during the commercial. And Genty gets the first down and several more yards. Looked like he rushed for about 6 yards on that. Callie said, watch Mendoza end up like a Marcus Russell. I hope not. See, and Raider Nation has a bunch of trauma when it comes to that, right? Because Geno Smith rolled out to the right, and that was weird. He got sacked, but he like tried to pass the ball. It looked like a fumble for a second. They took the sack away. They said it's an incomplete pass. It was a smart move. It was a dangerous one because they could have called that a fumble. Handoff to Trey Tucker. Picks up about 3 yards on that one. And folks said, cool, now throw a pick, you know? Yeah, it's tough, man. What's up, AD? Salute. What's good? Yeah, Savante, this should have been Flex's Sunday night football game. For real. 3rd and 5. You know, launches a deep to Trey Tucker completed all the way to the 15-yard line. Oh, man. Cero was good, man. The Tank Bowl. Yes, sir. Sean said, is Genty really only playing the first quarter? I don't know. They have Zamir White active, and that tells me that they're going to kind of sit Genty at some point. I think they're trying to get Genty up to 1,000 yards rushing. But the problem that we're having right now is that we're going down the field like we're going to score. That is a bad move on our part. Genty runs for about 3 yards. Gunsmoke said, we're going to mess around and win. Bro, that's what it's looking like right now, man. 2nd and 7. 3 minutes left in the first. Yeah, the Giants are definitely struggling to move the ball. They're getting a lot of penalties. I don't know. Holly said, bro, Al Davis said it, just win, baby. Gotta live by that motto no matter what. Oh, Gino throws a pick. Gino throws a pick, and he's taking it. Genty brings him down at the 42-yard line. And Gino now will have the most interceptions of any quarterback in the NFL because Tua has been benched for the season. Gino doing Gino things. Gunsmoke said, thanks, Gino. Good job, Genty. Actually, Genty should have just let him run it in. To be straight with you, because their offense isn't doing shit. Let their defense score pick six. AD said we could actually mess around and win the next two. Don't we play KC next week? Yes, and they are with their third string quarterback, but they played damn good against Denver. And so I really actually think that we stand a chance of losing that game, even with their third string quarterback. But I wouldn't put it past Andy Reid to go ahead and throw that game just to throw a wrench in what the Raiders are doing. But things have changed on the Tankathon. I want to share a screen on that again, man, just so we can talk about it. So the Giants, number one. Raiders are number two. The Browns won today, so they dropped. They have a weaker strength of schedule than us, so that's really, really helpful that the Browns won today. Because if we win today, we stay at the number two pick. Because the Jets, even though we'll be tied with the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Titans, all three of them have a stronger strength schedule than we do. And so we remain at the number two pick, even if we win this game. Now, what we really want is for the Giants to win this game because then we definitely have a pretty commanding lead. And then if they lose against the Cowboys next week and we win against the Chiefs, we'll drop from number one to number two. And it's funny because the comment sections, man, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, what if we stay with the number two pick? And I've been telling people, we're not going to stay with the number two pick. We're either going to be number one, number four, number seven. But things have shifted. And it is actually looking like there's a world where we could land that number two overall pick, which isn't a horrible place to be, you guys. If we're number two overall, then if Fernando Mendoza's not there, Dante Moore is. Both of them are good quarterbacks. I do like them both. I personally would rather have Mendoza, but, it is what it is. But if we win both games, that's going to mess us up significantly. Hand off to Singletary, who picks up about 4 yards. Gunsmoke said Gino did what their last three starters did. Cook all the way to the red zone, throw a pick. Maybe there is a curse. You mean like just the Raiders quarterbacks that we've had, period? Because we've had a whole lot of that. It's like get down the field, and then red zone, trash. Dart completed to Robinson. It looked like he got the first down. It's going to be close. Yep, first down. Since he jumped on him like a cheetah. Yeah, Rod, you're right, man. Moore might not be declared for this draft. So if we end up with a number two pick and Moore is not declared for the draft, if Mendoza goes number one, then we need to trade back. Oh, Adams put the pressure, but Dart completed the Singletary, who's still on his feet. Pick up of about 3 yards. AD said, I'm a big fan of both Mendoza and Dante Moore, but there's also plenty of talent in the later rounds at QB, I think. Drew Alar is going to drop to the third or fourth round because he's been out all year with an injury. He was actually I don't know about consensus, but he was actually being looked at like a first round pick or maybe first overall pick. He got in early on. Oh, big run by Singletary, and he's wide up. He's going to get all the way down to like half a yard from the end zone. There we go. Ty Simpson. I'm not a fan of Ty Simpson. He hasn't had enough starts in college football. And I have that same issue with Dante. However, Ty Simpson is a decent quarterback. I would not draft him in the first round, especially not in the top 5. As a second round pick, okay, but I think we need to do more than okay. Oh, touchdown, Giants! There we go. Good job, Geno Smith. Thank you for messing up when we need you to. Do you see how Geno Smith has his fro out? I, I just have to say it, man. It reminds me of a couple years ago when Derek Carr was not cutting his hair, and his hair started getting real like long towards the end. Kind of reminded me of that. David said, "Nice to see that our MVP QB is still out there. He is the most valuable player in the tank for sure." Extra point is good. Score is 7-0. Giants in the lead. No, this is Patrick said Raiders were scaring me. I thought we were going to score. I honestly did too, man. You're throwing that pick again. I thought he was going to take it for a pick 6. He was a linebacker, though. That's kind of a big dude to be running all the way back. There was definitely a chance of that. All right. So let's go back to Tankathon, man. I want to look at this again because let's say we win 2 games. The likelihood that the Jets. Actually, let me pull something real quick. I want to see where we're at with our current games. Okay, the Saints beat the Titans, and that was probably their only maybe winnable game left. The Titans did beat the Chiefs, which I did not anticipate, so I was happy about that. But if we win 2 games, what happens is we're going to drop to pick number 8. We will drop to pick number 8 if we win 2 games. And that's huge to drop all the way from pick number 2 to pick number 8. Now, if we lose to the Giants and then beat the Chiefs, we'll be pick number 2. Or if we beat the Giants and then lose to the Chiefs, we'll be pick number 2. So the odds are in our favor right now, right? The odds are definitely in our favor to where we're going to be picking towards the top of the draft. But if we screw around and win 2 games, man, and do the most Raider thing possible, he said, I see Ty Simpson's second or possibly early 3rd round pick. I think Ty Simpson is going to go either in the 2nd round or towards the end of the 1st, kind of like how Jackson Dart did. I do think Jackson Dart is a better quarterback than Ty Simpson. John Leon said, I would not mind us taking a quarterback early and one late. I think that we already have backups in the building. I actually like Carson Beck. And I do not like Carson Beck as being our main option. However, he's a pretty good quarterback who was the quarterback for Brock Bowers in Georgia. And so I could see it like if Carson Beck fell to the fourth round. I mean, I wouldn't be so upset about that. Soldier of Yahweh, if you go to Twitch, you could look up Carlos Luna. I believe that there's something happening here, but I'm not positive, honestly. Gunsmoke said, I wouldn't mind if we sell the number one pick for more picks so we can build our lines. We aren't going to Super Bowl even with a Brady Jr. Let's actually build and end this misery. The problem that I see with doing that is when do you secure your quarterback? Genty lost of a half a yard on that run. Because if we're picking number one overall, and then the next couple of years we're picking at pick number 8, pick number 10, things like that, because we've built up the trenches, then we're in a position where it's going to be difficult to get a quarterback. And then we're trading away draft capital to get a quarterback and stuff. I would rather just pick up a quarterback, pick up the necessary pieces, second round, third round. Is that a false start or offsides? Lawrence jumped the line. So I would neutral zone infraction on the defense. 5-yard penalty. So, yeah, I would rather just pick the quarterback now. I mean, that's what the Bears did. That's what the Patriots did. That's what the Commanders did. A couple of these teams just went, you know what, we're going to get our quarterback right now, and we're going to next year we'll be a good team. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Texans did. Pleaded to Michael Mayer. It's good to see Michael Mayer getting involved. He only got about a yard on that baby. Maybe the length of a football is what they say. Yeah, exactly, Gunsmoke. Back when Derek Carr was looking like Marv from Home Alone. I remember that we went against Joe Burrow, and he was looking like Macaulay Culkin. Dude, the memes were hilarious. Hilarious. 3rd and 5. Completed a Genty. Falls as he catches it. First down. That was a beautiful catch by Ashton Genty, man. Ashton Genty's a real one, bro. I am really actually happy about that pick. It would have been great to get some offensive linemen and things like that, but this is a guy that we get an actual quarterback and actually block for him, and we're going to be really happy that we have him in the next couple of years. Completed a Michael Mayer, looked like a 4-yard pickup. You see, PD said now all we have to do is nothing the rest of the game. Literally nothing. I think we can manage that. Raiders are going to Raider, man. I could see us messing that up. Raider Vic, if we lose to the Giants and beat KC, we still at number one because a head-up loss to the Giants. That's actually not accurate. Unfortunately, it should be that way, but because of the strength of schedule, Ashton Genty runs for about 8 yards, gets a first down, but there's a flag. So strength of schedule would put it to where the Giants would slip out in front of us. Flags on the defense. Extra 5 yards at the end of the play. Look, man, Raiders are going to Raider, man. We're going to go down there and score. David King says, I hope the Raiders do get the number one pick and they pick Mendoza so people will finally shut up about drafting a QB, which is going to go nowhere. David, that's you saying that you hope that things go wrong for the Raiders. The thing is, man, is that the Raiders, we haven't been giving ourselves a chance at quarterback. The last time we picked a starting quarterback was Derek Carr in the second round in 2014. We need a quarterback. Leroy said, I'm a Giants fan. Please beat us. No, you guys, please beat us. No, we're going to lose. Yo, man. Second and 11. Completed to Tyler Lockett, who just gets manhandled by Phillips. He just straight up picked him up. Said this play is over. Looked like a pick of about 4 yards. What pick would we both get? Leroy, if you guys win today, you guys will. Let me look at this. You guys will have the number 2 pick. If we win, we'll have the number 2 pick. But then there's still next week. I don't think you guys are going to beat the Cowboys, honestly. Geno Smith pressured and sacked. Looked like a loss of 2 yards. I thought he was actually going to get away from it. You guys notice that Geno Smith isn't actually moving around in the pocket the way he was against the Texans? Okay. So we're going to 4th down. Looks like we're going to kick a field goal. Rocco Sick 13 said just 2-15, baby. That's accurate. That's accurate. That's what we want over here. Yeah, Rod. Jets are definitely going to want to pick up a QB. Justin Fields, he's not it, man. He is not it. Okay, kick is good. The score right now is 7-3, 9:41 left in the second quarter. Gunsmoke said Genty looking great this game, all things considered. I agree, man. I liked the pickup of Ashton Genty, man. I didn't want to go with Ashton Genty until right before the draft, and then I started like really watching some tape on it, and it's like there's no way that this guy's talent doesn't translate to the NFL. And yeah, maybe that's not what we need right now, but we're going to be glad that we picked up a running back of that caliber. Yeah, Leroy, both Singletary and Genty are doing well this game. Singletary is actually a good back. Isn't he their like 3rd string running back? Leroy said, I've watched lots of tape because I'm a running back. I've always wanted to be like him and Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a dog too, man. That ability to shed tackles when you got somebody that's wrapping you up. Like last week, man, Ashton Genty caught a pass running down the sideline, and that should have been a clear tackle, and he just high stepped out of it. Those are the kind of things that I love to see. Who's winning today? Giants. Giants are going to win. Dude, okay, Rob. So get Genty a good blocking fullback. I don't understand why we don't utilize J.J. Pegues for that. J.J. Pegues is actually a defensive tackle, but he's huge. And in college, he was being utilized as as a short down back. When they were like 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, and they just needed to make sure that they pick up a first down, they would hand the ball to him, and he would just run through people. Like, kind of remind me of like Jerome Bettis, not that athletic or skilled, but just a huge ass running back that nobody can tackle within a yard. You know? And why do they not use him as a fullback? Have him be the leading block for Genty, especially in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? It's crazy. So the Raiders are about to kick to the Giants. Okay, David said, no, what I'm saying is I'm sick and tired of hearing about people saying that let's tank for the last 2 years for a QB. Let's just do it, get it done. Got it. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. And that's where I'm at too, right? Because I would really love to just be in a position where we have our quarterback. And then we can start focusing on what can we do to build around, right? We have a tight end, we have a running back, and then boom, we'll have a quarterback. Now it's like, okay, we need a good right tackle. We need a wide receiver 1. let's pick up a defensive tackle. Let's pick up a legitimate linebacker, not somebody like Devin White that's just gonna break the Raiders record for tackles in the season, even though he's playing horrible football. So Jackson Dart's season looked really good at first, and then once they fired the coach, his stats have looked like crap. AD said that he thinks the Jets are going to make a play for Kyler Murray. That would be interesting. Singletary ran for about 6 yards. Oh no, that's Tracy Jr. Unnamed user with the follow salute. Leroy, I agree. Said I think if the Jets draft a QB, it'll be Dante Moore. I picture Dante Moore in a Jets uniform. I really do. And maybe it's because of Oregon and he's already wearing green. That might be it, honestly. But for some reason, I've really had a strong feeling that the Jets are high on Dante, which Dante Moore is definitely better than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a great athlete. He's not a great quarterback. And I was rooting for that dude, man. Like he bounced around from the Bears to the Steelers to the Jets. I knew once he went to the Jets that his career was over. Maybe he'll get another chance somewhere else. Jackson Dart runs for the first down. I should have probably gone for the rushing yards for Jackson Dart. It was like over 29 and a half. But I chose either rushing or passing touchdowns to be over 1.5. Pass completed looked like a pickup of about 9 yards. Leroy, they should have kept their coach. Really, the ball, he should be a offensive coordinator. Like if we picked him up as an OC, I'd be happy. As a head coach, no. Damn, the Giants are young right now. The Joker said, at this point, why are we even a team? It's been disgusting, and I really want to see us turn that around. Oh my God. Come on, Roberts. Don't hit Jackson Dart like that, dude. You're going to have him like Tua in his fucking rookie year. Jackson Dart did run for a first down on that, by the way. Hit pretty hard by Ryan Roberts. AD said, I'd be thinking about bringing in Malik Willis, possibly. I hope we keep AOC, but that's yet to be seen. So if we do not draft a quarterback, I would rather us run it with Aiden O'Connell than go get Malik Willis. He's been playing pretty good for the Packers. I'm not going to lie. But it's like, all right, if we're not going to get a quarterback again and we don't get a legitimately, like, already proven good quarterback, then let's stop with Jimmy Garoppolo and Garner Minshew and Geno Smith. Let's stop with all those and let's just go ahead and if we're just going to run it back with whatever quarterback, let's do it with Aiden O'Connell. You know? Pastor Robinson, he picks up about 6 before he's pushed out of bounds. David King, you bring up a good point, right? He said, what happens if Mendoza and Moore both choke in the playoffs? Then what? Is everybody still up their butt one? I mean, really, Mendoza's already proven to me enough that he's worth picking up in the first round. If he absolutely shits the bed in the playoffs, I really could change my mind about how I feel. Jackson Dart runs for a touchdown. This dance though. Jackson Dart rushing for a touchdown. See, and Jackson Dart is such a good threat like that because this is the design throw. And they're about the 11-yard line, and he just saw that hole open up, didn't waste any time, took off running. But yeah, I mean, David, you bring up a good point. Okay, the reason I say that is because everybody was all into Sanders last year until he played a bowl game, and then he choked. The rest is history. What if the Raiders had picked up Cam Ward last year? I never really liked Cam Ward very much, and it took me a while to come around with Mendoza. And a lot of the reason why I've come around with Mendoza is, I mean, it's definitely not his stats, right? It's more about the way he plays, right? If you actually look at like tape breakdowns, like I like to go on YouTube and just look up like Fernando Mendoza, uh, you know, tape breakdown, and you have people that will break down the tape. Some people that don't like him, some people that do like him, and so they're showing like the good, the bad, how he processes plays, like what mistakes he makes, like what he can improve on, like those kind of things, right? And when I see those kind of things with Mendoza, it's like I see quarterback that he analyzes the field pretty good. The thing that he really struggles with the most is when there's going to be a sack and not understanding or a blitz, not understanding like not being able to read the blitz. Like that. Besides that, he reads the field pretty damn good. He makes good decisions, and like he's a good leader. And then when you look at like his interviews and press conferences, the way that he speaks, he just strikes me as somebody that's super intelligent. And I like the idea of bringing in an intelligent quarterback who's a well-behaved guy. You're not gonna have to like he's not a Diego Pavia that's gonna come to Vegas and party and pull Henry Ruggs and stupid shit. Right? He's a well-behaved guy. Um, it doesn't hurt that he's Hispanic because Raider Nation is Hispanic, right? But I mean, you know, a lot of people I've seen that's their take of, oh, his name's Mendoza, draft him. It's like, for me, that doesn't move the needle, right? Because for me, I don't care if it's white, Hispanic, black, Asian, or whatever, right? What I want is somebody who's going to come in here and be the leader of this offense. I believe Mendoza can do that. But you're right. If he absolutely shits the bed in the playoffs, I'm going to be way more concerned. Way more concerned. They're talking about Max. Oh no, they're talking about Cam Scatterby. Dude, him and Jackson Dart, bro. These guys are trying to get CTE, bro. I think that they're a good pairing. I would actually love to see us do that this last draft. I like Jackson Dart. I wasn't all about like we need to absolutely pick him at number 6, but I was hoping that Jackson Dart was going to fall in the second round and that we would get him there. Cam Scatterby was a running back I was talking about. I liked Trey Henderson better, but those were the routes I kind of wanted to go. And also, I was a guy that was saying draft Shador. And it's been proven. Dylan Lobby drops it in the end zone, but picks it up, and it's a touchback. I was saying draft Shador because I was watching some tape, and he had some good tape. You're right. He got to the bowl game. He shit the bed. The way he interviews was shitty. Um, there was a lot of things that were red flags, man. A lot of things that were red flags. So ultimately, I'm glad that we didn't go that route. However, Shador Sanders went in the 5th round. We should have picked him up in the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Take a shot at it. See what it is. Oh, God, they read that play so well. Trey Tucker got hit way in the backfield. Abdul Carter got that. So they did a fake to Genty. Tucker came for the end around. Abdul Carter went unblocked. Oh, he was just going for the sack, but then he saw the handoff and blew it up. I know, Leroy. You guys, the Giants have a lot of good players on their defense. Um, Completed a Trey Tucker looked like a pickup of about 5 or 6. Like you guys have a lot of good pieces on your defense. It just kind of feels like with a better coordinator, you guys would have a legitimate defense. But I don't know too much about the Giants. All right. Raiders on their own 32. It's 3rd and 13. Let's give Ashton Genty 11 rushing yards, receiving yards. Geno Smith steps up and completes it to Trey Tucker first down. There's a flag. Oh, holding on the Raiders. So we're going to move to 3rd and 23. Antonio Maffi. Dylan Parham is out with an injury and questionable to return. Is that really an injury, or is that like we decided that we want Parham next year because Parham's at the end of his rookie contract. Tony with the follow salute. Does surprise you. What's that, Doug? Did I miss it? Oh, Trey Hendrickson and Joe Burrow and the Raiders. What do you think? Uh, I like both those players. I think that the draft capital you have to get up to get them and the contract on Joe Burrow, it doesn't make sense for a guy that's not sure he wants to play football and can't stay healthy. Leroy, did Garrett get the record? I actually did not see if that happened or not. And the punt is up, caught on the 15-yard line. What was that? Something going on the sideline. With there's a Raider over there on the hell. We had a Raider on the Giants sideline, and there's an altercation. Oh, a Giant just pushed. What's that dude's name? Why did he push him all the way to the sideline? Holy shit. Yeah, he pushed him all the way out of bounds and into the Gatorade cooler. They're not going to flag or anything, huh? Oh, man. The announcer said it's week 17. All teams are 2 and 13. Basically, nobody gives a shit about the flag. That's crazy. All right. AD said there are a lot of options. We draft a quarterback. We take one of this year's current rookie quarterbacks, which I heard a couple of them are on the table possibly, or we go with a few. Yeah, and the problem with that is, for one, you got to trade to get one of those rookies, right? You're talking about the ones that were drafted in 2025. Uh, you got to trade for them. And there's none of them that are really good enough, especially if the team's moving on from them. It's worth going out there and getting. I'd rather just stick with Aiden O'Connell at that point. To go get a free agent, there's not really any decent free agent quarterbacks at all that are available. So then we're looking at trading for a veteran quarterback, which that turns into a discussion. Joe Flacco might be available, or Philip Rivers, you know what I'm saying? But I heard Warren Moon's going to come out of retirement. No, but in all seriousness, I don't think that there's a quarterback out there that's worth putting on this roster that's going to change anything. So if we're not going to draft a quarterback, I'd say run it with Aiden O'Connell because he's going to give you a better chance of winning. And yeah, AD, we do also need a number one receiver. That one, the availability there as well is not really good. I like the idea of going first round, Fernando Mendoza, second round. There's a couple of linemen, there's some tackles, there's some interior offensive linemen that are very good that should be available in the second round. And when you get to the third round, every mock draft that I've done, Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver for Indiana, is available almost every single time in the third round. And he is a good receiver, man. He's a very good route runner. He's a very good athlete. He's good with his hands. I mean, he's a dude that I would love to get out there. He's not a wide receiver one. He's not even a wide receiver one on Indiana, but he would be a damn good wide receiver two. And having him, Jack Besh, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, you already give Fernando somebody he's in sync with. It'd be good. Yeah, let's pick up Al Bundy for sure. CNG. Moose, can we trade Mark Davis? It's not going to happen, but you know, we'll see how that goes. I think that him selling off pieces of the franchise is going to help in the long run. Leroy, my friend is an Indiana fan and said any team should pick him. You talking about Omar Cooper? Because if that's what you're talking about, I fully agree, man. Omar Cooper is a legitimate. Giants got a first down on that, by the way. Yeah, AD Carson Beck is a guy that I don't see him as being a year one, just clear cut starting quarterback in the NFL. However, if you can pick him up like in the fourth, oh, wide open Robinson breaks two tackles but ends up out of bounds. That is way too small of a dude to be just breaking tackles like that. Holy crap. Western Unity with the follow. Salute. Robinson was wide open, and that's his number one option, man. 2-minute warning. Giants are looking to score again. And I gotta tell you, Giants, we tank better than you. Ryan, if we end up getting the number one pick, who you take? Mendoza, okay. David King, personally, I'd like to see the Raiders pick up De Jesus from Cal, excellent receiver. Would be great for the Raiders. Where's De Jesus projected to go? He told me to look him up, man, and I slacked on that. Jesus. Jacob De Jesus. He's only 5'7" though, man. Like I'm 5'7", bro. And I was a hell of an athlete back in the day, but when you put a 5'7" receiver against these huge ass NFL players, it don't work out too good. He had 1,000 yards receiving at Cal. He was at UNLV 2 years prior to that. You end up with just another Trey Tucker. We already have a Trey. How tall is Tyreek Hill? I believe Tyreek Hill is 5'10". I think Tyreek Hill is. Rosa said he can jump though. Yeah, I mean, and I'm telling you, man, I had hops at 5'7". I could grab a rim of a basketball pole, pull my back and all that. That was back in high school. But the problem is that you have to jump up that high just to get where somebody else can reach up. You know what I'm saying? You get a 6'4" corner and you're screwed. See, I hadn't looked at the scores from the other games today. It's nice to see the Chargers lose yesterday. Dolphins got the dub. Jaguars beat the Colts. Saints won. Seahawks, Bengals. What the hell? Winston and Jamal Adams getting into it? What is going on with these guys, man? They really want to fight? Week 17, bro. What's up, Elite 96? Salute. Tracy runs for about 3 yards. Yes. Do us no free agent, just go get Mendoza or more in the draft. No more free agent experiments. And straight up, if we miss Mendoza in the draft, but more is available for us without trading, I definitely pick him up. He is a good quarterback. He's just he's young, he's inexperienced. He's only 20 years old. Tracy runs to the outside, maybe gets 2 yards of that. Michael, no, Crosby's not playing. He's been placed on season-ending IR. It looks like Adam Butler's hurt now. Hey, it looks like Adam Butler's going to be out for the rest of the game. I like Adam Butler too, man. Yeah, Western, I agree with you. Just too small. I ain't watching, but how obvious is the tank? Right now, we're losing 14-3 to the Giants. It looks like they're actually out there playing and trying, but we took out pretty much all our best players. Uh, I mean, Brock Bowers was on IR, Max Crosby IR, Jeremy Chin IR, Colton Miller's been sat, Jack Besh is inactive. Um, Dylan Parham and Adam Butler have both been injured in the game, and probably neither one are going to return. It's like, if this is a tank or normal play, this Raiders team is pathetic. We've been pathetic all year long. We've been pathetic in a lot of years, but especially this year. De Jesus' day 3 projection. If you can get De Jesus in the late rounds, why not? You know, like Adams got the stop just short of the first down. Oh no, they gave it to him. MC said, "Chino gonna get us a loss." Yeah, uh, Gino did get a pick. He definitely did get a pick already. Yeah, Peter, I post during the off season. I do lives usually about 2 3 times a week during the off season. We talk about draft stuff. We talk about other news that's going on. Yeah, there's definitely going to be content. Okay, David. So you're talking about the Jesus is just very good at getting open. So he's a good route runner. I'm assuming he's fast, and once he has the ball, he's very dangerous. No, and I don't doubt that a short receiver can get those things done. Now, if we can pick him up 5th, 6th, 7th round, for sure, pick him up, man, because he could be the Trey Tucker replacement. Because Trey Tucker really hasn't panned out to be the guy that we all thought that he would be as a third round. Yo, David said one thing that is for sure: by keeping Geno Smith out there, pretty much guarantee that he is not going to be playing next year. Sucks. Yeah, we were talking about that. I think it was right before you jumped on, man. Like we're basically sitting down all the players that we value, yet Geno Smith is out there. So, okay. So Western, do you think Raiders should draft linebacker Torian York from Texas A&M Aggies? He pops up a lot on the mock drafts that I do, but honestly, you know, I haven't watched tape on him. I've read scouting reports and things like that on him. Seems like a legitimate pickup. He's one of those dudes that I have an eye on, but I'm not sure where he's actually projected to go because usually he's there in like the fourth round on mock drafts that I do. But I don't know if he's actually NY Giants for life. I guess y'all pick it first. That's how it's gonna go, man. You're going against the Raiders, bro. We know how to lose. That's for sure. I name loser with follows you. Yeah, the thing, David, is that the Giants, if they get the number one overall pick, they get to trade out of that and pick up tons of draft. The review on that play says that he was short, so they're going to fourth down. Yeah, David, I could see your logic on this. Yeah, NY Giants for life. The thing is, man, is that you guys are a better team than us. You guys just missing some of your key players to injury. Fourth and one. They're gonna go for it or are they gonna kick it? They got us to jump. They did the hard count and got the Raiders to jump. And I don't know what you're talking about. We've done been eliminated. We're in the tank bowl now. Yeah. Neutral zone infraction on Booker. It is what it is, man. Rook is like second, third, or fourth round pick. Yeah, I mean, consistently he seems to pop up in like the third and fourth round. First and 10, Giants are on our 20. They went for a deep shot to Tracy, which went nowhere. Incomplete. Second and 10. David, yeah, we're not going to be able to see Aiden O'Connell in the second half because he is inactive. So the only way he can play is if both Geno Smith and Kenny Pickett. I like that idea, Western Unity, picking up York. We are going to need a linebacker. Completed to Robinson, and he did get a first down out of it. Monty Knuckles, hard count or not. OS at home, come on. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that Raiders don't really have home field advantage. They really don't. I know Hummer is at this game. Hummer's usually in the YouTube chat, but he's at this game today. I was actually planning on it, and then things just didn't line up for us. So We didn't end up going. And that was before I knew that this was going to be the team. Part of the problem is that we've been Western Unity. We've been drafting linebackers in the like fifth, sixth, seventh round. You know. Oh man, Jackson Dart got hit and incomplete, intended for Hodgins. Second and goal. Malcolm Kuntz went unblocked on that. Damn, and I need Malcolm Kuntz to get sacked. Ashley, salute. Let's go Raiders. Yep, we on that just lose, baby. Darts running to the left, gets hit as he throws it. Incomplete. Throw was a little high. Looked like Porter had the cover. Carlos Gonzalez, what you think? What do I think about what? Ashley sharing the live. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gary Porter got a piece of that. High Plains, we suck so bad. You know, I don't even know if you're a Raiders fan or a Giants fan, but either way, yes. Completed a Tracy for a loss of like 4 yards. Aulu got the tackle on that. So it's fourth and goal. Looks like we're going to end up with. Oh, Adams is down. He doesn't look too bad, but not too good either. Adams is like, bro, I want to sit too. Aren't I considered one that's worthy of sitting? They're trying to sit everybody. They're saying how this Giants kicker is the first left-footed kicker in the NFL. So Janikowski from the Ravens. Yeah, Peter, smart move sitting all our good players with all these injuries going on. That's exactly it. We're in week 17. I mean, the season used to not even go this long. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just at a point where we don't want people getting, we don't want to see that. I guess the season did go this long because it was like 16 games, right? 2 seconds left in the first half. Giants are going to kick a field goal, and the kick is good. And that puts us 17-3 moving into halftime. High Plains said, I'm so old I remember us winning Super Bowls. Yet again, High Plains, whether you're talking about the Raiders or the Giants, both you're correct. But I believe you're talking about the Raiders, correct? Cali Bear, Mendoza or what? Oh, yeah. Oh, it. Actually, here we go again with all our good players out on injuries and we can't get our plays out. That's all good. We need to lose this. Ashley says Mendoza all the way. Eric said Raiders fan, 59 years. So that's long enough to remember when we were good. Man, since I've been a Raider fan, we've had 3 winning seasons. So that's rough life over there. David said the Raiders can arrest players after week 4. That's facts. It was pretty clear by week 4 that this team was going nowhere. Wasn't that when we played? Was that the Commanders game or the Bears game? It's been a while that we was playing horrible. Chris Raider. It's going to be a perfect story for the NFL, Mendoza and Raiders. I mean, I think it's a great story. Yeah, Manny, I wouldn't anticipate 10 teams doing too much. You might, you might. All right, you guys, you know the deal. It's halftime. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Imagine pulling up the stream right now and it's just fucking sitting like that. It's crazy. Oh, somebody did, and that's a James Frippo with the Raiders doing that proper thing. Just tank baby. Doc Fonzie said Raiders have this in the bag. Would really have to mess up in order to screw this tank up. Western said Torian in New York is around 5'11" to 6 foot, 230 pounds, fast on his feet. He's good run stopper. Yeah, I like York. He's good. Ty said, "That's me. I stayed." Yo, man. Big blue on bottom. What are you talking about, Ty? I love how we are happy we are losing. Yo, yo, Ty, why you pausing me, bro? What do you mean? What did I say? I googled the score and there's no way we're winning. Yeah, we're down at 14 at the half. We would have to just absolutely ball out in the second half in order to win. James Firpo. So what happens if Giants win and then we win next week? If we win next week, lose this week. Giants win this week and lose next week, we have the number 2 overall. Ashley said it's a new passion for them instead of lungs out. Yeah, that's accurate, man. I mean, we're at a spot where, okay, like the things I've been wanting is to watch Raiders play competitive football, which we did against the Texans. But really, like for weeks and weeks now, it's been like, all right, now we just need a good draft. Michael Rogers says, in and we lose. Accurate. Ashley is predicting that we lose this week and win next week. Yeah, I mean, and that scares me. But the Chiefs, if they play against us the way that they played against the Broncos, then we got that loss in the bag. Yeah, so James, pretty much no matter what, I believe if we lose to the Giants, then we'll either have the number 1 or number 2 pick. But sometimes the strength of schedule shifts. That's why we're in a position where we could end up with the number 2 pick. Because the Jets ended up their strength of schedule shifted. And so they are going to fall behind us. So that's good for us. Arizona's behind them. Tennessee. I think they'll actually shift this because Tennessee's in front of us. But there we go. So right now it's Giants, Raiders, Jets, Titans, Cardinals. Those are the first 5 picks. But yeah, even if we won today, we'd stay at number 2. But if we win 2 games, I think we drop down to pick up 8. So let's not do that. Joshing it up. Let's get this win. Tanking is for losers. No, tanking is for making sure that we don't continue to be losers with that. Yeah, Big Ronzo, no Mahomes, but that defense is still one of the best. They're playing good defense. But they looked good against the Broncos. They really did. Even that third string quarterback, he looked pretty decent. Lester, what position should the Raiders get in the second round in the draft? I would like us to get the trenches, either um, either offensive line or defensive line. That's what I'd like to see in the second round. David Simpson, I'm not showing the game, so you get your channel taken down. James Verbo said, I'm straight with beating KFC. It will feel great. Nah, man, at this point, man, even for the gratification of beating the Chiefs, it's like you beat the Chiefs and they don't have the majority of their starters. They don't have homes. They don't even have a second string quarterback. It's like what are you beating at that? Just beating ourselves. Big Ronzo, if the Raiders lose to the Giants, they're for sure losing against Kansas City. Yeah, because Kansas City with the third string quarterback are playing better than the Giants. Buddy, all right, so trade the first overall pick for more picks. So if you trade the first overall pick for more picks, who are you drafting? Because you'd be trading back with who? The Jets, Browns. So at that point, we're trading back to number 3, number 6. Who are you drafting at that point? Because for me, it's like without securing a quarterback, it's like what good does it do us? I get it, right? For the future, we build the trenches, we get to build for other positions, but you give us a better offensive line and defensive line and run us back next season with Aiden O'Connell or Geno Smith, we're not going to be drafting in the top 5. We're probably going to be drafting between 8 and 12. And then what do you do about a quarterback, you know? Best defensive player available. I mean, and we need that. But what if the Raiders tie with KC? If we lose to the Giants and tie with Kansas City, then we still have the number 1 pick. I thought we were going to tie 0-0 in this game. All right, Giants are kicking the ball to the Raiders. Second half is beginning. Kick is up. We're averaging under a yard per carry. That's crazy. Dylan Mile be down at 24. Yes, I agree with you. Delete 96. We need a first round quarterback. We absolutely need one. We haven't done a first round quarterback since Jamarcus Russell in 2006. The last early round quarterback that we drafted with intention to start was Derek Carr in 2014. He was drafted in the second round, and that went great. Ooh, giant player down, and they're taking Javon Holland. Southern Cali boy, no, Max Crosby is not playing. He is on the season-ending IR. Big Ronzo said calling it now. Gino's going to throw another interception. Yeah, Ashley, we got to get a new quarterback and a few new defense and offense. Really, we need at least one offensive lineman. That's why I'm thinking second round or free agency, either one. We need a wide receiver 1, but just another good wide receiver will do it. And also, Jack Besh and Dante Thornton Jr. could develop enough next year that we could run it back with them. I would like to see us get a better wide receiver. Um, we do need defensive line, cornerbacks, linebackers. Like we need most of it, right? But we're going to have to handle most of that in free agency regardless. Even if we traded back, even if we got the number 1 overall pick and traded back, we would still need to handle most of it in free agency because almost half of our starters are free agents. Southern Cowboy, do you think he's going to leave the Raiders now? No, absolutely not. No. The only reason he went home was just because it's the holidays and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go spend it with my family. No, I haven't seen them show Max on the sideline in this game. That's kind of concerning. I don't like that. But Max, he wants to be a Raider. He's getting paid. Um, he came out and he said in an interview the other day that he doesn't play. He doesn't give a shit about a pick. He doesn't play for picks. Um, but he said that's the front office. He said that's the GM, that's the coaches, that's their shit. And the thing is that like, yeah, you don't want Max Crosby out there saying, you know what, I really want to lose and get the number one pick. Like, we don't want him saying that, right? We want him to take the stance of like, yeah, I'm not concerned about picks. That's not my job. That's where we want. Yeah, he ain't trying to go nowhere. The only way that Max Crosby goes anywhere is if Spytech says, look, Mark Davis, this is the offer that we got for him. We need to build this team. Yeah, that edge rusher, Western, Mateo, I don't know how to say that last name, completed the Michael Mayer, gets a first down. That edge rusher, yeah, I do see it. He's going to be either late first or early second. I would love to pick that dude up. There's several linemen that I like in the second and third round. Even fourth, there's a defensive tackle that keeps popping up in the fourth. I think his name's Corleone. I want to say it's Cincinnati, but I'm not. Anyway, there's definitely some good solid pieces that we can pick up. There's a flag out. Ashton Genty. It's like half a yard, maybe. Yeah, Buddy Vanderbilt QB wants to be a Raider, but he's from New Mexico, and I appreciate that because I'm in New Mexico, right? Legal shift offense, 5 yard penalty. The problem is that he's listed as 6 foot. You can see he was standing next to Julian Sayin at the Heisman thing. He is not 6 foot because Julian Sayin is 6'1". And then that whole thing that he posted about fuck the voters, and he was just having such a shitty attitude about that thing just based on that alone. No, I don't want him. But also, he's probably about the size of Bryce Young. Samir White is in the game. And that Samir White looks like he picked up about 2 yards on that. This is like a preseason game. Think we're gonna fire Pete? Yeah, Southern Cali boy. I do think that we're gonna fire Pete. Big Ronzo from Albuquerque. That's what's up, man. I'm in Espanola. Actually. Flag on the play against the Raiders. Burns and Chino talking shit. But yeah, getting the number one overall pick doesn't only get us a quarterback, but it also gets us a coach. Forsyth was an ineligible man downfield, but it's declined. Oh yeah, that was good. Geno Smith was sacked because of flag. See, I thought Pete was the answer, and this was our year. Off Offsides on the defense, so it's a 5 yard penalty. I thought Pete was not the answer. I thought he was going to help rebuild us. I thought that we were going to be a better team. I thought we were going to get more like 8, 9 wins, but it's been horrible, man. Dave Luley in the fourth round from the Ducks. Offensive lineman in the fourth. Oh, shit. Burns gets a sack on Geno Smith. That sucks because I had him getting a sack, and then I ended up changing my mind on it. I always mess up my stuff. Oh, I suck at that. I suck again. That was a good move. Fluffy native panda. 2-14. Yes, sir. Mr. J, the score is 17-3 in the third quarter, 12 minutes left. We just punted to the Giants. Holy shit. Timmy Eichenberg just tried to kill that punt returner. Yeah, Junior, if we lose both games, we get the first overall pick. That is correct. So James Furpo said, Bills, Ravens, KFC, and multiple other teams have their franchise QB not in top 10 pick, right? I'm not saying we can, but it's possible. We need offense, defense, trenches, CBs. I thought Mahomes was like the number 6. Getting a whole lot of information, but not what I damn good. The hell. It was the 10th overall pick. Okay. Overall pick. Not saying that you need a number one to get a good quarterback. Definitely need a number one this year. Next year's quarterback class is better. But I would much rather that we, Ronzo to follow through. I would much rather that we end up just going ahead and getting the first overall pick, drafting a quarterback, get it out of the way, move forward, and continue to build to free agency through the rest of the draft, build in future years. Elite 96, thank you. Yes, sir, David. I remember you said that you lived on Tramway and Copland. Thank you. Oh, damn, you were out there in Springer? That's crazy. Yeah, that's where they're past Vegas. All right, Giants snap the ball. Jackson Dart, open receiver up the middle. First down, about 14, 15 yards. Lee said, I was stranded at a Greyhound bus station in Albuquerque 10 years ago. That's not a great place to get stranded, bro. Yeah, Albuquerque is. They call it Albucrazy for a reason. Oh, bad at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it's going to be called incomplete. Okay, Elite said, now what coach would you go after? I'm a big fan of Kubiak, but he retired from head coach in 2017. Well, Kubiak's son is the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks, and I am a big fan of him. He really has a good offensive scheme. Um, I don't know if he's going to be ready to go into head coaching next season, but I would love to get that. The other guy is the offensive coordinator from the Rams, and for some reason his name is escaping me right now. But I would um I would like to go with one of those. Triple said, can we double up the first round and get 2 blue chip players like Texans did? That would be pretty amazing. Jackson Dart runs for the first round. I'm not sure what move we would be making on that and what it would take draft wise. But that would be pretty amazing if we picked up a quarterback and an offensive lineman from the first round, or quarterback and a defensive player in the first round. That'd be nice. Tracy got a great block. He's still on his feet. Got all the way up to the 20-yard line. Damn. Look up Dave Luley on Oregon Ducks and see if you like him or not. I think he's solid offensive. Jackson Dart tried to do a shovel pass. Looks like it's going to be incomplete. 6'3", 332 pounds. Offensive lineman. You said he's projected to be fourth. West Jersey said the bowl games will decide which QB the Raiders will take. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, man. If Dante Moore goes out and balls out in the playoffs, and Fernando Mendoza looks like shit, I mean, we might go that route, you know. So yeah, I'm not really getting any information on Uli. I'm gonna look him up though. I'm gonna look him up. Lee Jackson Dart running again. First down. Gets to about the 9-yard line. Elite said, actually, people in Albuquerque were absolutely amazing to me. 6'4", goofy looking white boy. He definitely probably stood out like a sore thumb then. West Jersey said Mendoza 6'5", more 6'3". 6'5" is a good size for a quarterback. Man. Tony, do you hate the Chargers or the Chiefs more? Chiefs for sure. Yeah, yeah. Come on, Gonzalez. Gino doing what Gino does. I look like a rush of about 1 yard. Yeah, elite. That is who I was talking about. Clint Kubiak. You know, who's the offensive coordinator for the Mike LaFleur? Mike LaFleur is another guy that there's a lot of rumors about him right now in the Raiders. Like Singletary picked up about 2 yards on that one. Oh, Big Ronzo, born and raised in the war zone. The war zone ain't no joke, man. And a lot of people say shit about Espanol, bro, but not. It's different. It's different out there. 3rd and goal. Giants are on the Raiders 5. Jackson Dart had to throw it away from the blitz. Looked like he was actually going for Robinson. It's just way too rushed on that. Greedy Vance went unblocked. And the Giants are going to kick another field goal. 20-3. Okay. West Jersey said Mike LaFleur, Rams offensive coordinator, his brother is Green Bay head coach. See, and that's where I was getting confused because isn't his name Matt LaFleur? We got Matt and Mike. Is that correct? So the kick was good. 20-3 is the score. Yeah, Green Bay's head coach is Matt LaFleur. And I kept getting confused on those names. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, David King. That's a topic for a different string, man. But and I'm not going to touch on the especially part. But yeah, there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot. Kubiak is with Denver, I believe. Are you talking about Kubiak Senior? What are you talking about? Yeah, Sala is another coach that there's rumors about. I don't know that he's ready to come in and pull a franchise out of the dirt like the Raiders. Didn't go so good for him with the Jets, but I wouldn't count him out because of that Jets experience. Big Ronzo, yes, that's correct. If we win next week, then we get picked up. Jamie said Rams head coach runs Gruden's offense. Really? I didn't know that. Hmm. Eagles up at halftime against the Bills, 13-0. That Bears Niners game is probably going to be a good match. Yeah, if you guys look at next week, Giants are playing the Cowboys. I don't think that they're going to win that game. We definitely got to lose. Cardinals are playing the Rams. They're not going to win. Titans playing the Jaguars back-to-back weeks. I think they just won the day. Oh, no, it was Colts to play the Jaguars. That's cool. Um, who else are we worried about? Jets? Yeah, I don't think that the Titans are going to beat the Jaguars. The Jets already won? Oh, no, the Jets play the Bills. Yeah, I mean, those teams are not losing. Yeah, Big Ronzo Browns was a big win. That changed a lot for us because the Browns winning against the Steelers, that put us in a position where we can land that number 2 overall pick, even if we win next week. Completed a Trey Tucker, picks up about 6 yards. Looks like they're going to give him 7. Yeah, I'm happy that the Raiders are doing a good job of losing this game. I'm surprised Geno hasn't tapped out. I really thought that by this point in the game, Geno Smith was going to say that he was injured in some way, and yeah, Gonzalez, the Steelers choked it, man, and that's my wife's team. Ashton Genty runs for the first down and some. 13-yard run. Gonzo, if we win against KC next week, the Giants will move back. Yeah, West Jersey, I agree. Rest Genty. I think Genty wants to try to get 1,000 yards. He's only got 28 yards this game, so I don't think he's getting to 1,000 yards unless he breaks off some big runs right now. Geno Small, Geno Smith falls as he hands the ball to Genty. Genty runs for about 5 yards. What the hell's wrong with Geno Smith, bro? Yeah, I want Genty to get 1,000 also, but I don't want to risk him getting hurt or getting us a win. So, Big Ronzo, the way that we would have the same record as the Giants and they beat us, but they still draft in front of us is because of strength of schedule. Since since they have a weaker schedule than us, then they would draft in front of us if we're tied with the same record, even though they would, you know, they're going to beat us. Genty trying for another run, loss of 2 yards. He's trying to get more yards. He's ending up with less. It's crazy. Okay, Lee, I was wondering what you were talking about. Yo, man. Process for a first down, Michael Mayer all the way up to the 20-yard line. Huge game. Yeah, the Giants would definitely trade that number one and can't be having that, man, because I don't want to trade up for it. I mean, somebody jumps the Giants and goes and gets a quarterback. So we got to just lose them. Sketch said we beat KC next week. We celebrate and run it back again with Pete and Tito. That would be horrible. I would be really, really mad. Do not want that. Yeah, Lee, I was nervous about this game too, but Raiders are doing what they're supposed to. Jersey, are the audio? What are you talking about? Smith, incomplete. The score is 20-3. Third quarter, there's 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. Second and 10, Raiders on the Giants 20. Western Unity, I think first round the Raiders get Dante Moore. Second round, Mateo, I can't say that last name. He's a defensive edge. Third round, get Torian York. While I do like that draft, it lacks offensive line unless we're able to do proper with the offensive line and free. Genty losing more yards. Just give it to Zamir White. Get Genty off the field. Oh, are the Raiders auditioning Mike Mayer for a trade? I think that they're actually just utilizing him properly. The Giants don't do very well defending against tight ends. And so if Brock Bowers was out there, he would keep this game. Rocket guy, no, we've already been talking about that, man. If we're tied with the Giants, then they get it because of strength of schedule. 4th and 3 and we're going for it? That's wild. Geno Smith runs to the right, hesitates on the throw, completes it to Dante Thornton for the first down. Who do the Giants play next? They play the Cowboys. Western Unity, what round do you want the Raiders get a wide receiver? Honestly, I like Omar Cooper Jr. in the 3rd. But it's really hard to think about a wide receiver when we have so many other needs, you know? Especially somebody that's not going to be a wide receiver 1, but he's a good receiver. 12 players in formation for the Giants, half the distance to the goal. Well, somebody was saying earlier that they wanted to see Genty get a touchdown for some reason. Sketch, you're accurate on that. Genty loss of 2 yards on that run. Sketch said, I'm still nervous about this one. Giants have blown a number of leads this year. That is accurate. They're the ones that gave up 33 points to the Broncos in the 4th quarter. So, we're right. Smith went to scramble, but just kind of dove into the pile. Looked like he gained 2 yards, maybe. David, I honestly don't think it's accurate. Everything that I've seen says that if there's the tiebreaker would be strength of schedule more than who's beating who. Oh, swatted at the line of scrimmage. Geno Smith took a huge hit. Abdul Carter looked like he's kind of hurt. Nah, maybe he's just upset about not getting that pick or something. Oh, not getting the sack problem. Holly Market, what's good? Tyler Lockett with the touchdown. That was on 4th and goal. That's interesting. Ashton Genty was wide open at the top of the screen. Okay. 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Score is now 20-10. Giants in the lead. Those Raider Nation didn't want this. Didn't want what? Score not a touchdown. Didn't want to lose. What are you talking about? Because for me, I didn't want to score another touchdown. Let's not mess this up, you know? Oh, yeah, the touchdown. Yeah, no. It'd have been great, man. 4th and goal, turnover on downs. Geno Smith doing Geno Smith things. Yeah, It's all good. It's 20-10. It's still a 2-possession game. We have 1 quarter left to go. Renz guy said I missed your Marcus Russell. That's crazy. That's nasty work right there. You don't have to miss your Marcus Russell. You have Geno Smith. And Lee said, "Damn it, Geno." I know Geno Smith wants to show up and throw touchdowns when you don't want him to. You know, it's always like, thanks, Geno. Appreciate it. What's up, Seth? The Eagles are winning. Yeah, 13-0. What's going on with the Bills, man? There keeps being all this stuff that now Josh Allen has no excuses to go out there and win the Super Bowl. Everybody who usually stands in his way is out of the way. But, I like Josh Allen. I wouldn't mind if he won it. Also, my wife's a Steelers fan, so I'd rather them win it over anybody at this point. But really, I'm not invested in anybody. You think that the Raiders should trade Max for a 2026 first and more than use it to draft Francis? Yeah, yeah, I don't believe in trading Max. Giants are going to return this one for a touchdown if there is no flag. Holy shit. Thanks. I don't see any flags. Deontay Banks. CJ says, Mendoza, welcome to Vegas. Okay, well, the Giants made up for Geno's touchdown pass to Tyler Lockett. Which, by the way, why is Tyler Lockett playing? We should be playing Bo Jackson's nephew. Why aren't we playing Bo Jackson's nephew? Gonzo says the Ravens are beating the Steelers next. It could go that way, man. Oh, there's a flag. Late flag. Uh-oh. Yeah, Western, I need just be hoping that Mateo becomes Max Crosby. Eddie, I've said it a lot already, but I'll go ahead and tell you, man. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Giants. So if we lose this game, we move up to the first overall pick. If we beat the Chiefs, then the strength of schedule should have the Giants picking. You funny. Like a 40-yard extra point. And it's good. 27-10. Yeah. No, that's the nail in the coffin right there. We're still in the third quarter. And now it's 27-10. All of a sudden, in the last 31 seconds. That's crazy. Yeah, Gunsmoke. We were. 7528 in the building. I knew you couldn't miss the tankathon, bro. This is the tank bowl. You gotta be here for this, man. They're wondering where you at. Yeah, no, those games should be good, man. Ravens and Steelers, Buccaneers and Panthers next week. Both of them are a win and in. That'll be a good one. Chris Rader said, finally, we got a franchise QB. I believe that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. No, Western, I wouldn't worry about Max at all, man. Max wants to win. He knows that we need a quarterback to win. Jeff, I won't be shocked if Mendoza pulls an Eli and tells the Raiders he won't come. Man, you place Mendoza with like a Kubiak or somebody like that, he's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be like, man, I got Genty, Bowers, no offensive line. Trey Tucker gets the catch, gets the first down. Yeah, it was a 3 possession game. I'm not too worried right now. All right, here we go. End of third quarter. Oh man. No line will end his career. It'll be like David Carr in Houston. The thing is, man, is our offensive line shouldn't be playing this whole. There's a couple reasons why it did. The first one is Brendan Carroll should not be the offensive line coach. Period. Right? He did all his stupid musical chair shit on our offensive line that was ranked number 6 in pass pro at the point where Jackson Powers Johnson had moved to center. Oh, and then 16th in run block, right? So you have this offensive line that's really gelling well and doing good. And then they decided, you know what? Jackson Powers Johnson played great at center. Let's move him to right guard. And let's have Jordan Meredith, who's never played center, move from left guard where he had a breakout season and played absolutely good. And they're like, we're going to move him off that spot and make him play center, where he didn't play good at all. They're like, we're going to take Dylan Parham from right guard and move him to left guard. And it messed up the whole gel of the offensive line. And it just sucked. It just sucked. Colton Miller went down week 4 with the injury. Jackson Powers Johnson went down with the injury. And then our offensive line absolutely super sucked after that. Right? Yes, it's Pete and his son need to go. Absolutely. You get these guys out of here, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a completely different team just based on the coaching. We have a lot of good pieces in place. We really, really do. It's not going to take too much to really just add to this roster some actual good coaching. And then boom, all of a sudden it's going to go good. So Jeff, actually, he's not a mediocre left tackle when he can play. He's actually very, very good. He's a top 10 left tackle when he plays. But your best ability is your availability. So, like I said a couple years ago, that we should have. Jaden Daniels was in the draft. I wanted us to trade Colton Miller, Devontae Adams. I wanted to do whatever we could to move up. And people said I was crazy. Colton Miller stays hurt. Devontae Adams is gone. We ended up with no quarterback. Jaden Daniels' sophomore year is not going good. And Geno Smith is sacked. Dark side elite. From what I've noticed over many years of watching the NFL, is typically when an offensive coordinator is fired halfway or not even, the head coach is next. So long, Pete. Yeah, it would be very doubtful for us to hold on to Pete Carroll. I think the only way we end up with Pete Carroll next year is if we have a coach like Clint Kubiak that says, yeah, I'm not ready to be a head coach quite yet. Kind of like how Ben Johnson did with the Bears. 10 runs for about 5 yards. So the Bears went ahead and held on to their coach, who is now the Cowboys coach, for an extra year, even though they wanted to get rid of him. They waited for Ben Johnson. So I could see a world where we do something like that. Uh, you know, I'd like to move on from it. But not just for anybody. Make sure you're going to actually put a good coach. Completed to Michael Mayer. I mean, where's that connection been all year? Geno Smith and Michael Mayer. You think we should keep Jonah Laulu, defensive tackle? Yeah, I think he's a good depth piece for sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be a free agent or not. For some reason, I feel like he's still under contract with us, but not positive. Michael Mayer with a pickup of about 3 yards now. It's nice to see Michael Mayer getting some burn. And I forgot who said it earlier that it could be that they are trying to audition Michael Mayer for a trade. What I would like to see is if we put in Clint Kubiak as our head coach, he actually runs a true 12 personnel offense, and having Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer would be amazing for him. Deep pass. Oh, there we go. I was wondering where Bo Jackson's nephew was. Incomplete pass. Cedric Jackson is, I like that dude. Lee, True, what are your thoughts on Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, who is a candidate for many jobs, including college? I think I like him as our second option. I haven't done a deep dive into him yet. Pause, man. Shit. I haven't really watched a whole lot about his interviews, his offensive style, tape breakdowns, all that kind of stuff. But the Rams are doing absolutely amazing on their offense. So, there's that. Oh, Gino throws a pick again. Second pick of the game. Trey Tucker runs him down. Damn, Trey Tucker's fast, bro. Gino doing Gino things. Geno Smith is still laying down. And now there's a flag. Geno Smith's going to tap out now. He said, screw this shit. So I have some more research to do on Mike LaFleur. But what I've done on Clint Kubiak, I really like Clint Kubiak a lot. A 15-yard penalty for illegal blindside block on the return. So the interception will stand. Yeah, Raiders are messing up my parlay team. Giants only had 6 interceptions all year long, and now they have 2 in one game. That's crazy. And then Beast. It's not just Gino's fault. It's a team sport. Everyone is at fault. Oh, for sure. But also Gino sucks. And then Beast. Are you from New Mexico, man? Mexico popping up in the chat. New coaches don't do a damn thing for us. What are you talking about, man? Of course, coaching is everything. Coaching is absolutely everything. If you look at the Bears, if you look at the Jaguars, if you look at the what's the other team? We got at least 3 teams this year that have made a huge turnaround just based off of having a new head coach. pull it up. I want to pull it up because I know I posted this shit the other day. And if you guys have not, if you guys are on Facebook, go look up TRU Raider on Facebook, TRU Raider. We just passed 14,000 followers. I post way more content on there. Oh, yeah, the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, all three of those teams, the Patriots, the Bears, and the Jaguars, all sucked last year. Okay, you from Albuquerque and M Beast? That's what's up, man. I'm in Espanol, man. Spania, brother. Oh, yeah, if you guys have not, man, go check out the Facebook. Another good pick by Gino. Yes, sir. Sketch said, looks like number 2 pick is a lock. Mendoza or more. At this point, we are pretty much guaranteed to have a top 2 pick. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Niners playing the Bears tonight, huh? I'm surprised Eichenberg didn't get a flag for a trip on that. It's weird. Oh, Geno Smith going to the locker room. Look at that fake ass limp, bro. They said right ankle injury, but if you pay attention, he's stepping longer on his right foot than his left. Come on, man. When you limp because you're trying not to put pressure on the injured foot. If you step on that one quickly and then long on the other foot. He doesn't even know how to fake limp, bro. Western, yeah, I think Clint Kubiak could make us a Super Bowl contender next year. What I believe is that Clint Kubiak could make us a playoff contender. That's what I believe. Especially if we get a quarterback. 68, do you blame him? No, I don't blame him at all. I'm surprised Geno Smith made it to the fourth quarter, honestly. I really thought Geno Smith was going to tap out in the second quarter, saying, oh, I got hurt. How come you didn't bench me with the other good players, Pete? Oh, Jackson Dart with the first down. Runs it to about the 47. I think a lot of people are venting needing to score. Oh, shit. Sketch said, time for Tiny Hands Pickett. That's Kenny Two Gloves. Mr. Kenny Two Gloves. Elite said, and the Oscar goes to. Sketch said, I hated the Geno signing last year, but it looks like it might have worked out well for us. If nothing else, if the Raiders get the number 1 overall pick and we draft a quarterback and that quarterback does well for us, I'm always going to be grateful to Pete Carroll and Geno. Nah, and then Beast, I haven't been to the Raider Stadium, man. I was out there in Vegas a couple of years ago too, and I couldn't fit it in the schedule, man. We were there for a very short time, man. I was speaking at a conference, and I really wish I could have made more time for it. I'm really pissed about it now, like at the time I was like, it's all right, man. I'll be back soon, I'll come to a game, and we've sucked so bad. I'm not buying tickets for this shit. Yeah, Ronnie, I believe Mendoza's a pick for sure. Oh, you went over there for a WWE event? Yeah, that stadium it's legit, man. I saw the outside of it. I didn't get to go in or nothing. We definitely have a good stadium. It'd be nice if we start winning and have some home field advantage. Love that. Mm. I think Carroll is a Hall of Fame coach. Um, I think that he'll probably end up there, but he needs to dip out before he just messes up his all time record. I mean, Niners fans are always in a position to give a shit because you guys are always winning, we're always losing. Smith equals Matt Flynn. Dart, dancing, slips, throws it out of bounds. Dude, he keeps slipping, man. We're indoors. Why is it slippery? He's gonna end up blowing out his knee like that. Is that a cleat issue or what the hell? Or is it our grass? I'm sure retirement home in Albuquerque. Pete Carroll. That was crazy, man. Singletary gets the first down and runs out of bounds. Okay, so your point earlier was that not even Hall of Fame coaches are helping us. Yeah, but Pete Carroll is beyond his years. Pete Carroll should not be coaching. Pete Carroll got demoted in Seattle, and then they moved on from him. And then he came over here because he just didn't want to give it up yet. Could be a cleats thing. Yeah, I mean, because that's weird. I see it only really happening to him. Yeah, Big Ronzo, JPJ was solid at center. Pete puts him at guard. Pete made a lot of bad roster decisions. And then, like, what happened with Christian Wilkins? What happened with Amari Cooper? Like, what? Like, why did we play Brock Bowers while he was injured? Like, why all these? There's so many messed up things, man. That I think Pete is just—he's too old. He's too old. Yeah, Elite. I'm in that same boat, man. Especially if we draft Mendoza. Team with the follow salute. We draft Mendoza. I definitely want to make it out to a game next year. Singletary kind of looked like he slipped a little bit on that one. So, David, that's actually not true. 500 for nosebleed seats just to sit with fans that outnumber you, celebrate loss to your team right in front of you. Yeah, there's a lot of that sounds horrible, but there's actually usually a lot of tickets that are in like the $200 range. Go on Game Time. Game Time is an app that you can buy tickets on, and I've found a lot of good deals, man. We just didn't end up going because we looked at like the weekend after Christmas because we were going to go to this game, and I think that the tickets came out to like 178 a piece or something like that, or 230. I don't know. I don't remember the exact price. It was pretty low though, but that's for my wife, my son, and I. And then travel, we could drive there. It's probably about a 9 hour drive, and then staying overnight, and then I have to take a day off from work, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, you know what, man, we're just not gonna do it right now. We suck so bad. It's like let's wait until we at least get a decent club. You know, unnecessary roughness on Jonah Laulu. That's weird. Oh, it's because of that play. He's just trying to get. He's just trying to get an offensive lineman off of Landon Roberts. Ronnie, I wouldn't worry about that, man. Oh, yeah, for sure. Ronzo, this game over. Mike Hernandez, he was winning the Toilet Bowl. Raiders or Giants. Score is 27-10. The Giants are in the lead. 6:15 left in the fourth quarter. Yes, sir. David, you're not wrong about that. You know, Denver is a lot closer for me. I've considered going to a Raiders game in Denver, but I'm not trying to sit with all them Denver fans, man, in their field. You know, it's a little bit different when you go to Vegas. Yes, there's going to be tons of the opposing team's fans. But my stadium, nah, not doing that. No gain again. Third down. Third and 8. Looks like the Giants are going to score again. 7528 said since 2021, the prices have been raised by 23%, making them one of the most expensive season tickets in the league. No, definitely, man. I mean, and I've looked at like other games in other places, and it's way cheaper for most places. The events went unblocked, and Jackson probably threw it away. There's a flag. It's going to be a late hit, I bet. Fouls on both teams, offsetting. Roughing the passer. So I got a homie that's a Giants fan, bro. He's texting me like, bro, Giants are so fucking stupid. It's hilarious. So intentional grounding. Yeah, Ronnie, that argument is so old, man. Of Max deserves to win, and Raiders not winning anytime soon. Max is going to go down as one of the best Raider defenders of all time. Max has gotten contracts that put him in the hundreds of millions. His family is set. Max is in position where Mark Davis doesn't have a successor and would is likely going to end up having some partial ownership of the Raiders after he retires. So yeah, Max is winning. Max is absolutely. Now, would it be nice for Max to be able to win games, win Super Bowls? Yeah, sure. He wants it. So, you know, 4th and 1, and they're going for it. Jackson Dart is going to run it, And the touchdown. Yeah, I got that on my parlays, but yeah, there are tons of greats that never get a chance to win a Super Bowl. Tons. And it is what it is. Shit, man, I don't see people complaining that Tim Brown didn't get to win a Super Bowl. Lewis, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? I am not. I am happy right now. Raiders doing what we need them to do. Nah, David, last year he wanted to get that contract because he was out of guaranteed money, and so then they hooked him up. He got his contract extension. Yeah, Ronnie Tim should have won the Green Super Bowl. That just sucked, man. I was 15 when that happened. That sucked bad. Luis, man, you're depressed because we're losing. No, I'm happy because we're losing. We're securing the number one overall pick in the draft right now. I'm about that life. I am about that life for sure. 87528. I will be here next week. So looks like the Bills still can't get anything going. The Eagles are really about to shut out the Bills. Like when they shut us out, it's like, okay. But the Bills? Austin Jackson Dart is playing with vengeance. I think Jackson Dart is smart. He's playing against the bad Raiders team, and there's a lot of talk about maybe the Giants should draft Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore and move on from Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart is securing himself a starting job by winning this game. That's what he's doing. Eddie, who you guys play next week? The Chiefs. You think Colton Miller is finished? He's always injured. Nah, we're gonna run it back with him, man. We just gave him an extension. 19, I don't know what you're talking about there. All we gotta do is lose and we get the number one. User 68. Tell me who's your first choice is new Raiders coach next year, and I'll check with you next year. Clint Kubiak. That's my number one choice. I like Jackson Dart, man. I worry about him getting himself hurt. But the he's good. Yeah, David, I agree with you, man. I definitely agree with that. Touchback. No, we won't be tied with the Titans next week. If we win next week, the only team that we'll be tied with is the Giants. But the strength of schedule would still put us with. Actually, no, it would put them with the number one pick. So it would put us drafting number two. Kenny Pickett. We have a Kenny Two Glove sighting. Handoff to Ashton Genty. Runs for first down and more and more. Gets all the way to the 40. Ashton Genty says, I want my 1,000-yard season. Ashton Genty, run for all the yards you want to run for now. We are losing this game no matter what. Handoff to Genty. Loss of one. Damn, they picked him up. You're gonna do him like that? That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful, man. Pickett pass to Dante Thornton Jr. completed for about 5. Dante has 60 rushing yards. 60. Samir White is out there. 3rd and 6. 2:12 left in the game. Kenny Pickett rolls to the right, runs it for like 1 yard. That's a crazy decision to run it for 1 yard. Put yourself to 4th and 5. But Kenny Pickett knows what time it is. He's like, we lost. We're down by 24 points. There's 156 left in the game, you know? Ronnie's right. Number 1 pick might not cure us, but it's a start and 100 million cap space. I like where we could get. Newbie, how about those Raiders? Are they going to the Super Bowl? The Raiders are winning the Tank Bowl by losing. So, yeah, for me, give it 3 to 5 years. I'd say within the next 2 years, we can be a playoff contention team if we actually get a real head coach and quarterback. Might even happen next year. We have a lot of teams that have done quick turnarounds. So we'll see. And do you want Dante Moore or Fernando? Fernando. Oh yeah, newbie. It's been a long time, bro. A long time. Ronnie, good one, man. Well, David King, the reason why we're rooting for a tank is because we want to get back to a spot where we can root to win. But when we have just atrocious seasons the way that we have been, like we can't even have hope that we're going to win. Raiders need hope, and the only hope that we have is by getting a top pick, getting a quarterback, and then we're hoping that it works out. Yeah, Andy, I think Dante Moore could prove himself in the playoffs. We're going to see how that really plays out because Dante Moore might be the pick, but I think that he's young and not as experienced, which could be good in a couple of years, right? Because he's only 20 years old. So that could be an advantage overall. Pickett runs for the first down. There's a flag. It's going to be a holding, I bet. Smalls with the follow salute. Andy, oh, you're a Jets fan, so you're in the same boat. Yeah, Jets. I have a feeling that Jets are going to try to get Dante Moore, honestly. That's yeah, Gino's going to be out all season with that injury just because he doesn't want to play anymore. He wants to be with the cool kids who don't have to play anymore. Damn, Jamarcus Russell was our only number 1 overall pick ever. That went great. Cedric Jackson with the completion, like a pickup of about 10 yards. What do you think about what ESPN is saying? Head coach Management is planning on trading the first. I don't really think that that's the move for the Raiders. I think it's a possibility, and it's an avenue that they have to look at. I think it's an avenue that they have to look at all the way up until the point where they put in the card that says windows. You absolutely have to explore that possibility and see, is this the better move? What are we being offered? And then once you get to a point where you realize, fuck, we need a quarterback, then you do it. And the Giants will take a knee. And that's going to be it for the Tank Bowl. The Giants have beaten the Raiders 34-10. We are moving to the number 1 overall pick, you guys. I'm excited. You should be excited. Tell you what, man. I'm going to be putting out more videos throughout the week. I will probably be live on Tuesday. I try to go live on Tuesdays in the evening time. Keep an eye out for me. That's it, you guys. I'm actually going to make a video now. So keep an eye out for that one. Number 1 overall pick. Here we go. Caddy with the follow salute. Like always, I love you, nation. I'll see you guys.